Hi, I'm showing you the construction methods for our hay feeders. The hay feeder design we've modified a little bit so that it's ambidextrous. The same piece functions as both a supporter and a hooker. The difference between the two functionally is a supporter. This foot rests on the ground and you have stops at 3 different places on each side to keep the matching part in place. A hooker hooks on top of that, and that has 2 stops here and here on each side to hold it so that it matches up with whichever position you place it in. The spacing of these, so that's worked out carefully from the size of the sheep heads and legs and their ages. The tricky part for assembly, which is where I'm in now, is the spacing of these staples that we have as stops. So what I've done is, in our template, I've laid out the measurements carefully, starting at the inside edge here for where the center holes go for the staples to be mounted in. So that let me stack up stack up 8 pieces, which is enough for 4 different sides. The piece with the staples goes at the very top and also goes at the very bottom. So by lining up 8 of them and then transferring these measurements across the 8, and I've secured them with these pipe clamps. By transferring the measurement across the 8, that means that I can go in and drill pilot holes with a 1/8 inch drill. Somewhere in my stack I've got a 1/8 inch drill bit, but that lets me put in pilot holes at each of these, and then I can take a staple, square it up nicely with some fence pliers, and then hold the staple in place and drive it into the pilot holes. Okay, I'll repeat that for this one edge, the second stop, and the third stop, and then I'll also transfer the measurements to the bottom of these pieces, and that will let me construct 2 beams like this for each side of the hay feeder, one at the bottom, one at the top. So we put those in place. We put a 6.5 inch spacing at the bottom from the very foot of this upright 5-foot 2x4. We come up 6.5 inches, and there we have our first 7-foot long 2x4 horizontal piece with the stops in it. Another 6.5 inch space, and then a blank 7-foot long 2x4. Another 6.5 inches, a 7-foot long 2x4. For the upper 2, we come up 9 inches, and we have a 2x4 plane going across at 9 inches. And then one last space of 9 inches where we place our other horizontal member that's got all the stops in it. We're saving one carefully measured side as our template, and then that's going to let us manufacture a complete hay feeder quickly by transferring our measurements and then checking our alignment against our master template so that we can put them all together as quickly as possible. Hope it works.